the Radio Troller Entertainment Podcast Channel.
The music is reversible.
And so is the podcast.
This is Face the Music Reversible, an Electric Light Orchestra song-by-song podcast. Episode 061, Sweet Talkin' Woman. What's that song all about?
Sweet Talkin' Woman is the third track from Out of the Blue. In his 1980 book, The Electric Light Orchestra Story, Bev Bevan wrote,
Sweet Talkin' Woman was originally Dead End Street, and we spent 2 days recording the vocals until they were just right. The next morning, Jeff came in and asked Mac, our sound engineer, how it sounded. Great, he said. Absolutely great. Well, I don't like it, said Jeff. Wipe it off and start again. Max sat there behind his massive sound desk and in his unflappable way, wiped clean all the vocals from the tape. They were nice vocals, but Jeff had been thinking about them and felt they weren't quite right. He rewrote the lyrics, changed the title, and Sweet Talkin' Woman became one of our biggest single hits.
In the March 3rd, 2007 Showdown mailing list, Rob Kager wrote,
Listen out for the edit points on Sweet Talkin' Woman and Wild West Hero. Very noticeable to me from the first time I bought the original LP. But does anyone else notice these and others?
Yes, I do.
Eric Paul Johnson said on May 5th, 2019. In the January 7th, 2016 Stereo Gum article, The 10 Best E.L.O. Songs, Ryan Reed wrote,
An art disco anthem so perfectly sculpted that Mutt Lange blatantly pilfered it for Huey Lewis's 1982 hit Do You Believe in Love? Out of the Blue standout, Sweet Talkin' Woman is 4 minutes of blissful melodic sass. The verses are as catchy as the chorus, which is as catchy as any chorus Lynn ever wrote, with its galloping groove and spiraling strings. But Dude rarely stopped at a simple verse-chorus pattern. The dreamy pre-chorus breakdown and vocoder-heavy bridge illustrate the intricacy of Lynn's songwriting and his ambition to fashion pop songs as works of high art.
In 1995, it was used in the Homicide, Life on the Street episode, The Gas Man.
Well, hello there, handsome. Won't you have a cookie?
Hi, this is Eric Winsenson.
And I'm Eric Paul Johnson.
And this week we've got Sweet Talkin' Woman. I think another 25% of why this album exists. I forgot about the vocoder in this thing. How in the world did I forget about the vocoder in this?
Yeah, I don't get that either.
That's almost one of the most important things there. I think this was one of those songs I was trying to think of when I was listening to Apples and Stereo's Travelers in Time and Space, because they really try to go for the E.L.O. sound on that album. They use a lot of the old vocoder rather than the modern auto-tune stuff. And I'd say a few of the songs sound exactly like Sweet Talkin' Woman for the most part, which is, I believe, what they were going for. And if you're going to go for something, you might as well go for this, because an album that I don't like, this thing sure has some of the better Electric Light Orchestra songs on it. It's just scattered everywhere, hither and yon throughout the whole thing. But they did a good job of getting at least 3 decent ones together at the beginning.
Yeah, I love Sweet Talkin' Woman. I've liked it since it came out, 1978 or something. It's a fun song. It's perky, it's very singable, it's catchy. It's a lot of fun to play on the guitar. Jeff sounds great. There's Bev Bevan mixed in there. He's singing some low vocals, of course. The choir sounds great. There's nothing bad about this song at all. I love it. And this is the first time that we hear the vocoder in an E.L.O. song. And as we go through this album, you all will be able to see that my brain cannot decipher vocoderese. Because up until last week, when I looked up the song facts, I always thought it was saying, "Where did she go from?" I knew it wasn't right, but that's what it sounded like to my ear. Where did she go from? And of course it's reinforced by the first thing that Jeff sings is, "Where did she go?" He is not singing "Where did she go from?" It's "Sweet Talkin' Woman," which should have been obvious, but there it is. 41 years and I'm hearing "Where did she go from?"
I always heard "Sweet Talkin' Woman."
Everybody.
But then, of course, I think probably I'm more used to vocoder than you are, because, yeah, I often listen to, I don't know, for some reason I hate auto-tune, but when I hear vocoder, it's vocoder!
I think the annoying thing about auto-tune is that it's so jerky. I don't know if the intention of the person using it is trying to fool us into thinking that he can actually sing, so this is why he uses a vocoder to auto-tune his voice, which sounds incredibly obvious. But there's no jerking of the voice with a vocoder. There's no sudden jarring changes in anything when you use it.
That might be the main thing, is that instead of trying to disguise the fact you can't sing, it's basically, hey, I want to sound like a robot.
Yeah, and there you go.
And, okay, you can sound like a robot. Another great thing on this is that Motown influence.
Mm-hmm.
This has some noted Motown influence on it with the chorus vocals and everything, and you can see the influence, but it's still all Jeff Lynne. I don't feel like he's copying things at this particular point. I feel like it's all him.
Yeah, and another thing I love about that song is near the end where it cuts out everything except for guitar and I guess the bass drum, and it's just the vocals. Hold on, sweet talking love. I like that. I think that's also another fun part. And the acoustic guitar in this is very noticeable, and I think whenever somebody does an E.L.O. type song, I think that's part of what makes it sound E.L.O.y when other people try and copy E.L.O. sound, is in this song where the acoustic guitar is, I don't know if I'd say right out front, but it's very noticeable.
There's so many elements that actually go into the better E.L.O. songs that I don't think just casually listening you notice how much it is actually a band and not just Jeff Lynne doing everything there.
Yeah.
There is another band that did copy this, though, even though it's under a completely different name.
I think I know where you're going with this.
And it's very, very obvious where they copied it from. It was one of their minor hits before they really hit it big. It's Huey Lewis and the News.
That's what I thought.
Do you believe in love?
Yeah, it was 1987, and I was 17, almost 18, walking home from high school, and Sweet Talkin' Woman was playing in my head. And where have I heard that before? And I was like, oh yeah, that's Do You Believe in Love? I was searching on a one-way street. I was hoping for a chance to meet. I was walking down a one-way street, just looking for someone to meet. When I was going through the song facts, this came up, and people were kind of upset. It's like, oh, how dare Huey Lewis and the News sue Ray Parker for Ghostbusters, yet they get away with swiping from E.L.O.? How dare they? I don't, that's root there, so I oughta. I listened to both songs this morning for about 45 minutes, so just bouncing back and forth between them. And to me, I don't hear a straight-up ripping off, here's Huey Lewis and the News doing Sweet Talkin' Woman. I do hear elements of Sweet Talkin' Woman in Do You Believe in Love. I definitely hear some lyrics that have been fudged with just enough, not to sound like he's just writing the same words that Jeff Lynne wrote. Although I think it was Mutt Lange who wrote it, from what I read in the song facts. And then there's the parts where walking. Now I'm hoping that the feeling is right, and I'm wondering, I've been living on a dead end street. But I really kind of had to stretch it and bend my mind to make the way Do You Believe in Love is done to fit with Sweet Talkin' Woman.
Well, verse-wise, it's very similar.
Yes, verse-wise.
And pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Chorus-wise, no, it's something completely. No. It's a completely different animal, chorus-wise.
Yeah, and this is why I can't really get mad at Huey Lewis for going after Ray Parker, and they're getting away with Sweet Talkin' Woman. There are like elements that are from Sweet Talkin' Woman in Do You Believe in Love, but that's no different than what E.L.O. has done a whole bunch of times.
Oh, you mean like something like had some verses that sound like I heard it through the grapevine with a chorus that was completely different.
Right, there's that. There's also in Tightrope, where there are parts that it borrows from Young Love by Sonny James.
They say forever, boy and girl, they're just one love in this whole world, and I know I found mine. If you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down.
The Beatles did it all the time. Everybody kind of copies from everybody. The trick is when you copy from somebody, make it sound like your own. Don't make it sound obvious that, hey, I'm doing Ghostbusters, but pretend you're not hearing I Want a New Drug. And I think that's what Huey Lewis and E.L.O. and Beatles and lots of people do. I think that's what creating is. You take in your inspirations, swallow them down, mix it all up in your stomach, and then you puke it all back up, and it creates Sweet Talkin' Woman.
However, it didn't exactly work out for my album, The Dark Side of Some Completely Other Moon, so don't sue me. Yeah, especially since all I did was record Dark Side of the Moon and then try to sell it as my own, and that didn't work.
Yeah, I think what you did to try and make it more your own is you did some background heartbeat. You added some of that. And
that's true.
Floyd,
that was my anxiety of Roger Waters ever suing me.
Yeah, and Floyd did not buy that excuse, no. So there's a video for Sweet Talkin' Woman. Really not all that much different than the other E.L.O. videos we've seen. They do try and make it a little bit more interesting. There's a couple parts where there are multi-screen images of the band. There's a little bit of animation at the beginning with the E.L.O. logo, and then at the end with the E.L.O. spaceship. And I don't think Jeff is wearing his sunglasses in here.
Yeah, no, I've seen them do the bento box thing in other videos too.
Got something to say about Sweet Talkin' Woman? Then call the telephone line voicemail.
623-850-3375. Call now.
Waxy Buildup, a podcast covering the earliest recordings from the wax cylinders of the 1880s to the discs of the 1920s.
Sundays on the Radio Troller Entertainment Podcast Channel.
To delight those who would have melody or be amused.
It's time for a great line from E.L.O. from this week's song.
What's my line?
And I was walking, many days go by, and I was thinking about some lonely nights. Communication breakdown all around.
Where did you go? Mike Hudson here, and let's talk about Sweet Talkin' Woman for a while. As I mentioned in the Turn to Stone podcast, that song was my introduction to E.L.O. But Sweet Talkin' Woman was the second song by the band that I recognized as being E.L.O. I'd been a fan for a month or so, I suppose, after falling in love with Turn to Stone. And then one day, Sweet Talkin' Woman came on the radio. I can still remember the very first time I heard that string quartet intro, or would it technically be a string trio? It caught my ear right away, and I wasn't sure, but I thought there was a chance that it might be E.L.O. And then that almost country-sounding guitar lick hit, and for the first time I ever remember hearing a vocoder in my life singing the title of the song, followed by those splashy-sounding acoustic guitars and Jeff's lead vocal, along with the great call-and-response backing vocals, and I knew it was E.L.O. That's right, first time hearing it, I knew it had to be E.L.O., and I'd only had one previous song to compare it to. It's not that all of E.L.O.'s songs sound alike, but there is a sound to them that is instantly recognizable, even though Jeff explores a lot of different musical styles. As much as I love Turn to Stone, I found Sweet Talkin' Woman to be every bit as fantastic, if not maybe even better. This is a trend that would continue as I'd discover other E.L.O. songs in the future. Was there a limit to how great E.L.O. songs could be? Well, the short answer is no. There's so many super fantastic E.L.O. songs that it becomes impossible to pick a favorite. The harmonies are great in this one, and once again, Bev gets a few lines in here and there. He does those low voice slowdowns and hold-ons in the choruses, and he also does some background bits in the verses. You really need to listen to this song in headphones in order to hear all the various harmonies that are in it. The string flourish that's in the choruses is a huge hook for this song. Obviously, this song is filled with plenty of the 40-piece string orchestra as arranged and conducted by Lewis Clark. But there are a number of instances where Mick, Hugh, and Melvin get featured as that string trio I mentioned earlier. I know the three of them played on the albums Face the Music, or New World Record, and Out of the Blue, but it's never been completely clear exactly how much they played. But this song is very obvious as it strips back down from the lush strings to that more chamber orchestra sound. I seem to have read that the three of them play along with Clark's orchestra, but they also get featured here and there, especially Mick, who gets to do an occasional violin solo on certain songs. Obviously, when I heard this song originally, I had no idea what a vocoder was, and it'd be some time later before I would learn. But this song is the very first instance on any E.L.O. album that Jeff used a vocoder. Of course, it would not be the last, as he would continue to use the vocoder for the next few albums, as well as one of the songs from Xanadu. Now, I assume the Erics have gone into the whole E.L.O. and Huey Lewis and the News thing about this song, but if not, I'll explain. The song Do You Believe in Love by Huey Lewis bears a striking similarity to melody and phrasing to Sweet Talkin' Woman during the verses of both songs. The E.L.O. song came first, so it's quite possible that the Huey Lewis song was in some way inspired by Sweet Talkin' Woman. The breakdown during the final choruses, where everything drops out except for the bass drum, a single electric guitar, and the harmony vocals, is another nice touch. And I'd later hear people say that Sweet Talkin' Woman was one of the E.L.O.'s first songs with a disco beat, and I kind of hear it in that part, but the rest of the song doesn't really sound even remotely like disco to me. Jeff and the band, along with Clark and engineer Mac, really outdid themselves on this one. I only have 2 thumbs physically, but I have to give this one 10 thumbs up, maybe even 11. One last thing before I go. Where Jeff sings insufficient data coming through, it's always sounded to me like he's saying insufficient data coming through. I always get a kick out of it when that part comes up. Well, until next time, I don't know what I'm going to do. I gotta get back to you. This is Mike Hudson, out.
High-speed digital computer. The major task is to extend and augment human imagination by means of high-speed electronic digital computers.
We're going to have a little fun tonight, folks.
So while using AI to isolate the acoustic guitar, I thought I'd check out the isolated vocal track. And that was pretty damn awesome too.
Where did you go? I was searching on a one-way street. I was hoping for a chance to meet. I was waiting for the operator on the line. She's gone so long, what can I do? Where could she be? Oh, no, don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta get back to you. You gotta slow down, Sweet Talkin' Woman. Slow down. You got me running, run. You got me searching. Hold on, Sweet Talkin' Woman. Hold on. It's so sad if that's the way it's over. I was walking, and it just come by. I was thinking about the lonely nights. Communication breakdown all around. She's gone so long, what can I do? Where could she be now? No, don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta get back to you. You gotta Slow down, slow down. Sweet talking woman, slow down. You got me running, run. You got me searching. Hold on, sweet talking lover, hold on. It's so sad if that's the way it's over. I've been living on a dead end street. I've been asking where she hiding. Everybody I meet, insufficient data coming through. And she's gone so wrong. What did I do? Where could she be? No. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta get back to you. No! Slow down. Sweet talking woman. You got me running, run. You got me searching. Hold on. Sweet talking lover. Hold on. It's so sad if that's the way it's over. Slow down, sweet talking woman. You got me running, you got me searching. Hold on, sweet talking lover. It's so sad if that's the way it's over. Slow down, sweet talking woman. You got me running, you got me searching. Hold on, sweet talking lover. Hold on. It's so sad if that's the way it's over. Slow down, sweet talking woman. You got me running, you got me searching. Hold on, sweet talking lover. It's so sad if that's the way it's over. Slow down, sweet talking woman.
And while I was there, I isolated the bass. And it shows what a fantastic bass player Kelly Grocut was. And that what's been lacking in E.L.O. songs since Kelly exited is somebody who's dedicated their life to playing the bass guitar.
Was it a hit or was it?
Sweet Talkin' Woman was released in America on February 12, 1978, with Fire on High as the B-side. It was pressed on purple, black, and red vinyl. While people get giddy about finding a purple pressing, it's actually as common as dirt. I have 3 of them. The black vinyl version is the rare one, and the red pressing is even rarer. It reached number 17 on the Billboard chart, 18 on Cashbox, and 23 on Record World. It ranked as the 86th most popular song for 1978. In the UK, it was released on purple and black pressings on October 7th, 1978, with Bluebird is Dead as the B-side. It reached number 6 and ranked as the 40th most popular song of 1978. In Australia, it reached number 38, number 30 in Belgium, number 27 in the Netherlands Dutch Top 40, number 24 in the Netherlands Top 100, and Canada got to number 16, and for the year it ranked at number 125. And in Iceland it got to number 6. The song was covered by The Cadets in 1981, Jack Livingston Orchestra and Singers, King, J Church in 2001, P. Hux in 2005, Frank Chaxfield Orchestra in 1979, Electric Light Orchestra Part 2 in 1997. In 1999.
You've got to slow down, sweet talking woman. You've got me running, you've got me searching. Hold on, sweet talking lover. It's so sad if that's the way it's over. I've been living on a dead-end street. I've been asking everybody I meet. Insufficient data coming through. She's got so long. What can I do?
Five Iron Frenzy.
Where could she be? No, don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta get back to you. Oh, slow down, sweet talking woman. You got me running, you got me searching. Hold on, sweet talking lover. So sad if that's the way it's over.
The Tone Rangers. It was sampled by Bushido for their 2004 song Schlangen.
Ich dreh mich im Kreis, frage mich, was geht ab? Sehe all die Leute um mich herum, fuck mich ab, Mann, wieso? Kommt doch mal klar und seid mir ehrlich, was wollt ihr von mir?
And Funky used it in Sige les Evies Equetes in 2011.
Ici début combien on cru me dégoûter. Mon même dit arrêté sur ce, j'ai bossé dur comme si de rien n'était. Voilà le résultat, une vengeance des plus classées. C'est mon esprit de revanche, les auront renforcés. Merci à ceux qui n'ont jamais cru en nous. Voyez de vous-même, 4 ans après, malgré les vies qu'on mène, on forme que.
Like it, hate it, what does Madeline think?
Hi guys, it's Madeline here. I like the song.
Wow, she liked it.
Taste the Music Reversible is a production of Radio Trolla Entertainment, Assorted Deli Meats Amalgamated. Voicemail 623-850-3375 or email us ELOFTMpodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe to our YouTube page, the Electric Light Orchestra Podcast channel. You can financially support the podcast at patreon.com/ELOpod or PayPal using the podcast's email address. Or send a check or money order to P.O. Box 1932, Superior, Arizona 85173.
Next week, episode 062, Across the Border.
REPC, the Radio Trolla Entertainment Podcast channel.